brushing at her shoulders too wide for her size 12 frame. Maybe she was paler than usual. Her nose was red, but it was probably just the cold. She ordered a Tanqueray and tonic. Jilly tossed a napkin onto the bar and set down the drink.
"You look tired."
Rayann shrugged. She couldn't talk. She carried her glass over to the jukebox. Leaning on it, she thought of Betty Davis leaning on the piano in All About Eve. "Fasten your seatbelt, Rayann. It's going to be a bumpy night." She took a healthy swallow of her drink and promptly choked on it. "Some Betty Davis you are. Do you think if she'd caught her lover like that, she would have run?" Coughing, she managed another swallow, then drained the glass in 3 more. Gin wasn't going to solve anything, but it might ease the pressure before she exploded. So what are you going to do about it? Fight for her? Rayann pictured herself as a female Gary Cooper, facing some nameless blonde interloper who stood framing her womanhood at the end of a long, dusty street. Rayann started to giggle, realized she wouldn't stop once she started, and went to the bar for another drink. She ignored the puzzled look Jilly gave her as she resumed leaning on the jukebox again. A young couple came in, a blonde and a redhead, hugging each other, holding hands, making lovesick eyes. So young and in love it hurt Rayann to watch them. She doubted either of them had said goodbye to their teens, and noticed Jilly doubted it too, though she didn't kick them out. Jilly gave them a stern look as she brought them club sodas, her eyes daring them to try to order anything else. Rayann remembered that look when it had been directed at her, a long, long time ago. The baby blonde danced by herself over to the jukebox. The redhead's eyes never left her. The gaze was proud and indulgent and proprietary. The blonde looked Rayann over, and Rayann wondered if she were assessing Rayann's hands or her mouth, thinking maybe she wasn't too bad for pushing 30. The blonde scanned the record list. "Wow, it's got Melissa." Her fashionably tousled curls looked as if she had just come from bed. The half-dozen earrings piercing her delicate lobe winked at Rayann. "Half of these people I never heard of, like, what are Vandellas anyway? But I love Melissa. She's been there, you know." "Been where? What do you know about anything but here and now?" "Just wait until 3 years of your life melt away in less than a heartbeat," she wanted to say. Rayann was at most only 12 years older, but she felt as if she had as much in common with this woman as she did with an infant. The child woman dropped in a quarter, pushed some buttons, and danced back across the floor to her waiting partner. The redhead glanced briefly at Rayann, then away with a shrug of her leather-clad shoulder. She knew Rayann was no threat. 3 years with Michelle, and Rayann had forgotten all about the games. For 3 years she had spent most of her time at a table for 2 in the tea room, not in the bar. For 3 years there had been only one woman. The interminable, endlessly only you love song on the jukebox finally faded to a close. The record's whirred, clicked, and the low beat of Melissa Etheridge pulsed against Rayann through the jukebox glass. She wondered how long it would be before Michelle looked for her here. That was assuming that Michelle cared enough to come looking. There was certainly no sign of her yet, and she had a car. Her hands flat on the top of the jukebox, Rayann kept time with the bass, lightly slapping the beat. Melissa's whisper surged into throaty, burning agony, and the jukebox throbbed the anguish of an unfaithful lover. "She has been there, or she's a real good faker." Rayann swallowed the last half of her drink as Melissa cried, "Bring me some water." Rayann screamed with her in silence, beating the bass line on the jukebox with her palms, then with her fists. Firm hands pulled her away from the jukebox. "Stop it! Stop it! What's wrong? Ray? Look at me." Jilly's fingers dug into Rayann's shoulders. Over Jilly's shoulder, she saw the baby blonde and the redhead on the dance floor, hip to hip, crotch to crotch, frozen with hands in each other's back pockets as they stared at Rayann. Everyone was staring at Rayann. "What's wrong?" Jilly persisted. "A lie." She pointed at the young couple and their happy ever after eyes. "A goddamned lie." Jilly looked at them, and Rayann slid away from her, around the jukebox, out the door. She ran. Chapter 2.